Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, Poverty Hill Adventures. Today's video is going to be a odds and ends video, or as I like to call them, an Oddments video. And I believe this one will be Oddments number 103. I think Poverty Hill Pete was correct in his prediction of an early spring. Take a look. The little pond is almost ice-free. Got a little bit of ice back there in the shade, but very unusual for this early in the year for any of these little inland ponds to be ice-free. We are having a incredibly early spring, very mild weather, and I'm going to take the opportunity of that mild weather to get a jump start on some projects. And one of my yearly projects is a road cleanup. As I walk the road and pick up trash, and normally I don't do it for, well, at least another 4 or 5 weeks, but this year the snow is gone. I got my little wagon, I got my gloves, I got my garbage picker-upper, and I have my safety orange shirt on so I don't get run over. So I'm gonna go out, and it's always interesting. It's depressing to me to find the litter along the road, but it is interesting just to see what the litter bugs throw out, and I pick it all up and then I dispose of it properly. I've been doing it for many years, and when it's all done, it's pretty rewarding. So if you'd like to come along and help me pick up some garbage, come on along. Like I said, it's always interesting. Back from the road pickup, and surprisingly, and it was a very pleasant surprise, there was very little trash on the sides of the road, a mile stretch of road. I was just amazed. Some years I bring back a couple of wagon loads of garbage. This year, there was very, very little. Now, why? I don't know. Perhaps people are starting to learn to take care of the environment and not throw garbage out, or maybe it's just a fluke. I don't know. Let me show you guys that didn't come along on the road pickup there what I found. The one item's just going to surprise the heck out of everybody, so let me show everybody what I found. Put my gloves on here. There's always a couple of cans. Here's a Budweiser can, and bottle of beer from one of the local breweries, and a twisted tea, raspberry. So it was just 3 cans. No paper, no garbage, just 3 cans. So I'll turn those in for the 5 cents. But let me show you, if I can lift it out of here, let me show you what was Roadside, and I hope this doesn't offend anyone. But oh, a great big beaver, and I'm gonna drag him. Well, I took him off the road so that you know, people driving down the road didn't squash them further, and you know, kids look at them and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag him back off the road. I got him in the wagon here. I'm gonna drag him back off the road, and then I'm going to put a trail camera on it and see what critters show up for a check out the big beaver that I found on the road. So you never know. It's shout out time. Shout out time. And I've got a very special shout out in this Oddments video. And this shout out goes to 3 people. And the 3 people that this shout out goes to is Caden, his father Andrew, and Andrew's father, Caden's grandfather. And I would like to give them a shout out. Let me tell you, I was very disappointed that I was not able to meet with you guys in person at the maple syrup breakfast the other day, and I know I would have really enjoyed talking to you guys about fishing and camping and hunting and such, but unfortunately I was not able to be there. But my friend Dino was there, and he mentioned that that you guys were there, and I wanted to put together a little shout out for Caden, his father, and his grandfather. I had talked about mentoring our youth, and a previous little clip in this video, and how important it is and how rewarding it is. And I want to commend Andrew and his father, Caden's grandfather, for taking the time to show this young man, teach him, and get him involved in the outdoors. And I had asked Dino for a picture of Caden, if he could get me a picture of Caden to put in the video, so all of you could see this young man. And Dino asked Andrew, and Andrew is a super proud father, and he sent some amazing outdoor pictures, fishing, camping, hiking, and hunting of Caden and them out. And let me tell you, they were just amazing pictures. I had a hard time whittling them down, but the one that I picked was Caden with a great big smile holding a beautiful crappie that he had caught. And I love crappie fishing, and that kind of, I said, man, that's pretty cool, you know. So thumbs up, Caden, on your outdoor adventures, and thumbs up to your dad and grandfather. I received a very pleasant surprise the other day. I had some old saws that were dropped off. The person that dropped them off knew that I like to paint on old saws, and they were, you know, typical old saws that had been, you know, let the rust and everything, which is perfect. It's perfect for painting the pictures. I don't want to use anything that's still usable as a saw. I like to, you know, repurpose them once they're, you know, pretty far gone. Well, mixed in with all the rusty, crusty stuff was a jewel in the rough. A Swedish carpenter saw, hand saw, no rust, just needed a little polishing. It has a very cool handle on it. It's synthetic handle, not a wood handle, but in the handle there's a dragon. There's a picture of a dragon, and the saw was still quite sharp, and just needed a little polish work. So what a surprise! Now I got an extra wood saw, carpenter saw for the camp.
Well, it's the end of the maple syrup season, and it was a short one. We're out here cleaning up all our buckets right now to get ready for next year. But yeah, usually we're getting syrup well into March, and here I am, the very beginning of March, cleaning buckets. So spring is in the air. It was 72 degrees, I think, today. And when you look up into the trees and you start seeing the buds coming out, you know that the trees are ready to come out. The sap gets really milky color. When I collected these buckets earlier today and dumped them, you could tell that they were starting to get a little bit bad. You know, I wouldn't use it anyway. But anyway, a short season, but I'm always, I like to do it. It's a lot of work, and it was a fun season.
I'm learning how to paint pictures, and in my effort to learn, I've been watching a lot of Bob Ross, Painting with Bob Ross episodes, old episodes. Bob's unfortunately passed away, and I like to paint trees, among other things, but I like to paint trees and nature. And Bob, in a lot of his paintings, painted trees, and he had a lot of comments about trees. And some of his comments were maybe a little corny, but I'm not sure about that. One of his comments was, "It's okay to have trees as friends." Then he had another comment that the experts all say to paint things in odd numbers, but on occasion he liked to paint an even number of trees just to mix everybody up. And he talked about crooked trees in nature, and how we'll send those off to Washington. We'll send those crooked trees off to Washington. So the man had a sense of humor, and he talked about, in a couple of his episodes, trees that were laying down, trees that had fallen down. And he says trees were just like him, and occasionally they had to lay down on the job just like he did. And he, like I said, what an outlook on life. And he mentioned that in nature, perfection is boring. So if you have a stand of trees, a stand of wilderness, and everything is like popsicle sticks all lined up like that, how boring that is. That the interest comes from the diversity and the oddball trees and such, So I'm going to take advantage of today, the beautiful blue sky, and of course the leaves aren't out on the trees yet. And I'm going to go out and take a little walk and just take some pictures of some trees and treetops, and then store those away on my computer as examples when I do my next painting or future paintings of trees. And I can use those kind of as a guide. So I'm not sure if you guys want to take a walk with me, but that's what I'm going to do. I'll try to get some different kinds of trees and branches and such. See if we can include a few of my tree friends in a future painting. Until next time, everybody, take care. Thank you for watching. Remember to keep on trucking and believe in yourself even when no one else does.